Hey everybody, Hunter, Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila running that camera. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Man, we get bus groups coming to the Nashville Nightlife Dinner Theater from all around the country. New York, California, Florida, everywhere in between. But when them bus groups come in from Georgia, especially when it's in season, we know that bus driver is going to bring us a bag of those sweet Vidalia onions. Man, I can pick them up, take a big chomp right out of one, and eat it like an apple. They're so delicious. And they're crazy about their sweet Vidalia onions down in Georgia. Come on over here and we're going to make a sweet Vidalia onion dip. Let's get started. This recipe is so easy, you're going to love it. Now you start out with 2 cups of real fine diced Vidalia onions, and I've even got a video on our channel of how I cut up onions, and it's so quick and easy to make them real fine like this. I cut off both ends just like that. I cut it in half. Makes it real easy to pull that outer skin off because it just pops right off of there. And then I do what the Cub Scouts taught me, is I cut straight away from, I put the back of the knife up against my hand and I cut straight down. Real simple. Every cut is going away from my hand. Then I roll it over like this, cut it, there's your onion. Then we're going to add 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar, shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and 1/2 cup of American cheese. And I just took some American cheese, opened up a few slices, stacked them up, chopped them up, and I'm going to put them in there too. So with this 1/2 cup and this 1.5 cup, that equals 2 cups and evens out with the onions. So you got 2 cups of onions and 2 cups of cheese. 1.5 cups, of course, is the shredded. 1/2 cup is the American cheese. And let's stir this together a little bit and kind of mix the onions and the cheese so they're incorporated pretty good before we put in the next ingredient, which is 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. And we're almost done. It's just that simple. 3/4 cup of mayo and about 2 tablespoons of scallions, or what I call green onion stems, chopped up. About 2 tablespoons. And we're going to save, I got about 4 tablespoons in here. We'll use 2 tablespoons to mix in here, and the other 2 tablespoons we'll put on top when it comes out of the oven. And that's it. We're just going to mix this together. Whoops, there's always one little wild one tries to jump out of the bowl. And then we're going to put this in a 1-quart baking dish that I can't find. It's on the shelf somewhere over there. So all I have is this 1.5 quart, so it's just going to come up part way instead of all the way up. You should use just a 1-quart baking dish. But this is going to work right here. And let's see if I can wedge this against myself so I can do it on camera. How am I doing, Sheila?
You're doing great.
All right, awesome. And that's the mixture. That simple. 2 cups of them Vidalia onions, which are so good. Don't, you know, as much as I like to use just about any onion in any recipe, make sure it's a sweet onion. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Vidalia onion, even though I suggest you use that. It can be any sweet onions from the grocery store, but don't use a yellow onion or a white onion or anything like that for this recipe because it just won't turn out right. It's got to be sweet because you're going to dip this out as a dip. Now that I got this in here kind of flattened out, this is going to the oven. This is going to the oven at 375 degrees until it's brown on top and bubbling, or about 25 minutes. We'll see you then, and we'll show you some sweet Vidalia onion dip. Man, this looks absolutely terrific. And here's the thing, at about 20 minutes, it didn't look like it was done. And then all of a sudden at 25, it started to get real brown around the edges and started to get brown in the middle, so I grabbed it and pulled it out of the oven. So you really got to pay attention at about 20 minutes. Come on over here and take a look at this. Doesn't that look fantastic? Nice and golden brown around the edges. We garnished it with a little bit of onions. Maybe give it a little more here. A little bit more of them scallion stems or whatever you want to call them. That looks terrific. Now you could take these little ramekins here and pour about 1/4 of this in 4 different little ramekins, bake them, then nobody will be double dipping in the same dip. But we're going to let this cool for 10 minutes, and that's very crucial. You don't want anybody to get their mouth burnt. Let this cool for a good 10 minutes, and we'll be back to take one of these Ritz crackers and give our sweet Vidalia onion dip a taste. Well, it's kind of cooled down. It's been about 7 minutes. You really want to let it set for 10 minutes. But I can't stand it. 7 minutes, 8, 9, 10. Close enough. Let me get a Ritz cracker here. Ooh, this dips up real nice. Looky there. With that cheese and them onions, and the steam is pouring off here, so I'm going to cool it down and talk to you for a second first. We hope you subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoy this recipe because I know it's going to taste just absolutely delicious. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in just a little bit. When it does, click on it. When it says subscribe, click on that little bell next to subscribe. Then you'll be notified every time we come out with a new recipe. Let me change hands here. Look at that cheese just hanging in there like a hair on a cheese sandwich. Oh, perfect. We're going to put up another recipe over here. We hope you enjoy. In fact, what I'm going to put up over here is how I cut up onions, because there's onions in this dish, and you're going to need 2 cups of real fine diced onions. I'm going to put up a video of how I cut up onions to make it real easy for you. It's going to be right over here. We hope you enjoy this. And is this the best little delicious sweet onion, Vidalia sweet onion dip you ever ate? If it ain't, it ought to be. That is outstanding. Don't use white onions. Don't use yellow onions. Don't use red onions. Use sweet onions. And preferably Vidalia sweet onions from them nice folks from down there in Georgia. We'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. And this is so good. What'd you think, Sheila?
Fixing to find out.
Oh, you like this, don't you? All right, fantastic. Let me get you one. All right, this is Sheila's right here. Look at there. Wow, perfect. See you next time. Bye-bye. We hope you enjoy this recipe, and we really hope you subscribe to our channel. That's easy. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in a little bit. When you click on it, it'll say subscribe, then you're subscribed. Next to it will be a little notification bell. If you click that little bell, then YouTube will send you every single one of our recipes or a notification that we posted one as soon as it comes out. See you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Is this the best? If it ain't, it ought to be.